Well, hello, I'm out on a walk and I wanted to do a couple of videos to share 6 top tips for staying calm and staying positive right now, because obviously there's quite a lot going on and it's a little bit crazy out there. So top tip number 1 is to limit the amount that you read about the coronavirus. So this weekend I wanted to be better informed, so I read a lot of articles and reports and just some general posts that I found on Facebook and the like, and I felt I had a better idea of what was going on, what we needed to do. However, there was a growing anxiety which I was feeling in my stomach, and I found myself thinking, is it too early for a glass of wine? Which it was. And so I realised that while it's good to be informed, actually gorging yourself on this kind of information can add or compound the stress and anxiety we're feeling. So my recommendation would be to limit it to a certain number of minutes a day, a certain number of posts or articles. Just don't gorge yourself on all the stuff that's going on right now. So that's number 1. Number 2, I'll just wait for this car to go by, is to get out of your head and into your body. And by that I mean get some exercise, do something physical. Exercise is a great stress buster, and if you are experiencing some anxiety or some concerns, you'll be producing more cortisol, which is going around your body, which is putting you in that fight or flight place. And one of the best ways to get out of that is to do some exercise. So it doesn't have to be, if you're self-isolated and you can't get out, there are literally a gazillion videos on YouTube from your standard exercises to dance classes to yoga. There's every kind of exercise imaginable, all on YouTube, and they're all free, and you can just move your body. Another thing is that when you're moving your body, you're just not in your head, and so using your senses, how are you feeling, what are you hearing, anything to get you out of that mental monkey state that you can be in, where you're just constantly going round and around what's going on. So that's step number 2, get out of your head and into your body. And obviously getting out into this, I know it's a bit of a cloudy day today, but this brings me nicely on to point number 3, which is to get some perspective. And I find there's nothing that gives me an insight into a bigger perspective than being outside in nature. Just looking up at the sky for a couple of minutes is so nourishing, or being by the sea and seeing the city expanse of water. It gives you that perspective. And one of the places that I love to go is with the kids is the planetarium, for just this reason. You sit in your comfy chair and then you see an image on the screen of the planet, our planet, the world, and then it zooms back and you can see the moon and Venus and Mars and the sun, and then you see our solar system, and Earth's getting pretty small at this point, and then they zoom back further, so you see our whole solar system from a distance, and you can't see Earth, it's just a dot that's disappeared. And then they zoom back even further, so you can see the universe and the Milky Way, and our solar system becomes so small it's less than a dot. And it makes me really appreciate that what's going on here it feels massive at the moment, but it will pass. It just gives you a bit of perspective. Another example of this is my eldest, who's in his first year of GCSEs, and for him that is massive. And I tried to say to him the other day, you know, when you're doing your A-levels, if you do A-levels, your GCSEs will not seem so massive, and when you get your first job, then your A-levels won't seem so important, and so it goes on. The next thing comes along, and the next period of this planet will come along, and things will disappear, and we will go on to the next stage. Spring follows winter, and it's getting that perspective so that we're not so wrapped up in the moment, just knowing that it will pass. Okay, so that's the first three top tips. Don't spend too long reading stuff that gives you that anxiety. Get out of your head and move, really move your body, and try and get some perspective in whatever way suits you best. I mean, if it's just sitting outside, looking at the sky, looking at the stars at night, all these things, just to put it all into perspective. It will pass. Okay, I'll be back with video 2 shortly. Bye.